to Hip Essence After Dark Artist Talk. It is said cooking is not chemistry. It is an art and it requires instinct and taste rather than exact measurements. Hello, I am your host, Octavia Richardson. Tonight, we are pleased to have on the show Master Culinary Chef Euylan Welch. Euylan Welch is one of St. Louis' premier chefs and is owner and executive chef of Welch's One Catering. Hi, Euylan. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you
Sorry
today?
about that. I'm great.
How are you today?
I'm great, Euylan. Euylan, tell us where you're from.
I am from St. Louis, Missouri. I was born and raised here, but I've traveled pretty much all over the world.
Okay. Let's jump right into it. What are you going to prepare today? And while you're cooking, let us talk about how you found yourself in a culinary arts field.
Okay, well, I'm going to do 3 dishes. Actually, yeah, 3 dishes. Okay. And I'll start with the Caesar salad. We're going to make the dressing by scratch by using Dijon mustard, anchovies, rice wine vinegar, Parmesan cheese, and garlic. And we're going to make that dressing, and then we're going to toss the romaine lettuce inside there, add a couple of croutons to it, and garnish it off with some Parmesan Reggiano as well. Then we're going to move on, and we're going to do a shrimp scampi, where we're going to take U10s, which, okay, so if you want to know what U10s are, it just means that it's less than 10 per pound. So the shrimp probably weigh anywhere between 2 and 3 ounces. They get classified as U10. We'll use U10 shrimp, and we'll cook that shrimp scampi with a little bit of pasta. And to finish it off, we're doing a brand new completely dish. We're taking apple Crown Royal and saute apples, and we're doing something similar to like a bananas Foster, but we're gonna saute apples with cinnamon and nutmeg, and we're gonna make a caramel sauce to go along with it and serve it with a scoop of ice cream on top. And that's what we're gonna do today.
Sounds amazing. If you have any question, email us at hipessence@gmail.com and tell us where you're from.
Oh, me? Where I'm from?
No, the audience. Yeah, you can tell us where they're from. Okay, so what are we making first?
We're gonna start with the Caesar salad.
Okay.
Where's my knife? We're gonna start with the Caesar salad. I'm gonna bring the bowl over. Can you pan down inside the bowl so we can see exactly what we're putting inside?
Okay.
Can you see inside the bowl?
We need the knife.
Yeah?
The chef is just walking off to get the knife, guys. Be right back.
Where's my knife? The first thing that we're going to do is going to take the garlic, and we're going to smash the garlic and cut the garlic and add it to the bowl. Basically, all I'm doing is taking and I'm putting my knife on top of it, smashing the garlic, and then
why do you smash the garlic opposed to just
to
cutting
release the oils that are inside the garlic.
Okay.
And then to make it where it's not so easier to cut.
Okay.
It's easier to cut with a flat surface as opposed to cutting something round, something easier. Something flat is a lot easier than cutting something round.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to place the garlic inside the bowl.
So while you're preparing this Caesar salad, can you tell us about the famous and not so famous meals you have prepared for people in the past?
Famous meals?
Yeah, the famous people you have prepared meals for in the past.
Okay.
And not so famous.
The only question the concern that I have about that is I've signed a couple NDAs in my life.
Okay.
And those famous people don't want nobody know exactly what they did and what was done.
And what they ate at the time.
Exactly.
Especially if they're claiming to be vegan.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I have to be very careful about who I talk about. But I can tell you that we did a party for Vivica Fox not too long ago.
Okay.
We did a party for Cedric the Entertainer, who happens to be a noob. Yeah.
St. Louis, yes.
We did a party for Johnny Furr. We do a lot of parties for a lot of people in St. Louis.
Do you do a lot of like weddings and things of that nature?
Oh,
private
God,
parties,
yes, we do.
romantic parties.
Mm-hmm. This is the Dijon mustard. I'm going to add just a little bit of Dijon in here. And I'm going to start to emulsify the anchovies, the garlic, and the mustard together.
So you're getting the base ready for the Caesar dressing.
I'm getting
for
the base
salad.
ready for the Caesar dressing, exactly.
Okay. And you said the first thing you put in there was anchovies?
Anchovies was garlic was the first thing. And then this paste right here is a combination of anchovy, garlic, and Dijon mustard.
Okay.
And that is pretty much the base of the salad.
Okay.
Alex, can you grab me an egg?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna grab that egg yolk real quick.
The chef is getting the egg so he can continue on with this famous Caesar dressing that he has.
I can't find it.
I understand that you also feed the homeless as well, not only famous people.
It's funny how we go from very wealthy people to people with no food at all.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the pandemic. So how have you been able to feed the homeless?
I am the resident chef for the Central Baptist Ministry, and I do feed the homeless every Tuesday. Have been for the last 3 years.
Okay. Do you make them gourmet meals or just whatever comes to mind for that day?
Sometimes it just depends on what I have available,
Okay.
the resources that I can work with.
Okay. So it's a lot of work that goes into making a Caesar dressing.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And so what are you adding now?
This
to
is the
Caesar
white
dressing?
vinegar
Okay.
that I'm adding to it. And I make it like a circle 8 pattern in there. A couple round stirs and then circle 8 to try to incorporate all this stuff in.
And is it necessary as you're stirring to mash the garlic that you chopped up, or does it, okay?
To infuse the oils and make sure all the oil of the garlic gets the opportunity to come out. So, garlic can be raw. Raw
Yes.
garlic can be kind of hard sometimes. So you want to try to make sure you incorporate that as much as possible.
And then the anchovies that you put in, a lot of people do not know that it is fish in the Caesar dressing. So how are you able to mask that, you know, the fishiness and the saltiness of the anchovy when you're making your Caesar dressing?
Anchovies is basically used as salt in Caesar dressing.
Okay.
So, and that's where the saltiness comes from. That's why we don't add anything to it, any salt to this, just to this Caesar dressing here.
Understandable. So is this one of your required like dressings when you have private parties or do catering events? Do a lot of people ask for this famous Caesar dressing that you're making today?
A lot. Most of the time we make our own dressings
Okay.
because we want to control what goes inside the food. So we make our own dressings. I need a lemon.
And did you add any egg to that already?
Yeah, the egg has already been
Okay.
added. The egg yolk has already been added to it.
Looks interesting.
Let's set that there.
So make sure you guys pay attention to this Caesar dressing because it's amazing. And you
Okay.
can make this for a friend, a family function, anything. And believe me, it's going to be talked about at the function because it's really good.
Okay, the reason why I'm cupping my hand is I'm trying to catch the seeds.
Okay.
I don't want the seeds to go into the dressing.
Yes.
And then I'm adding the acid to it, which is actually going to chemically cook the egg yolk that's in here.
Okay.
So you'll see the Caesar dressing get to a lighter opaque color, and then that's when you know.
So the lemon juice and the acid changes the color of the Caesar dressing to just make it lighter and loosen up the consistency of the dressing as well.
And then to tighten it back up, we'll just add the oil. Finish out and figure out and add the rest of the oil to it.
So is it best to stir it by hand opposed to using a blender, or what do you recommend for someone who wants to try this at home?
I would start by hand. You can use a blender, but you lose the consistency of the garlic in there You also lose the consistency of the anchovy in there. So I would start by hand.
You guys see how it's coming together? It's a crowd pleaser. And so what would you recommend to pair with the Caesar salad? Or is it only seafood that's paired with the Caesar salad, or can you eat a Caesar salad with pretty much anything?
You can pair Caesar salad with pretty much anything. A lot of people just eat Caesar by itself.
Okay.
They take Caesar and they'll eat it with a slice of chicken or a piece of fish on top, and they'll make a Caesar salad just to.
So this particular dressing goes a long way. It's not
Yeah.
just for salad. You could use it as a marinade or something like that as well.
Because it does have acid in it, it will break down and marinate anything that you put with it.
And what does it hold up to? Oops.
It's okay.
And what does it hold up to? The Caesar dressing, by it being fish and lemon and things of that nature?
Well, anything you add lemon to, you can serve Caesar salad with. Anything you would add, anything that goes good with lemon will go good with Caesar salad.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Looks amazing. It truly does. And I have a question, because every time I order a Caesar salad, I want it to have onions, red onions or something. So is onions called for a Caesar salad, or does it mess up the integrity of it?
It's just a preference. And those are things that will go well with the Caesar salad.
Okay.
A little in there.
And so you're putting Parmesan cheese in
And
it
then-
to tighten it up?
And then Parmigiano Reggiano.
Okay. So two different forms.
Yes.
Forms of Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, that's because I'm just greedy.
Say more cheese. Nothing
Yeah.
like more cheese. Looks amazing, Euylan.
Thank you.
So the salad is one of the first meals that you will have, as well as an appetizer, as you know. So we're starting off with the Caesar salad, and then Euylan, what are we making next to pair with this Caesar salad?
Next, we're doing the shrimp scampi.
Okay.
And I'm just going to take a second and gather everything that we need and move all this stuff out of the way.
Sounds
I don't
great.
need this anymore.
And are we making just shrimp scampi by itself, or are you going to pair it with something?
I'm going to pair the shrimp scampi with just a little bit of pasta to go along with.
And what type of pasta are you going to use today? Is it fettuccine?
Just a regular spaghetti noodle.
Spaghetti noodle? Okay. And when you're making a shrimp scampi, what type of noodle like what's the best noodle to use for shrimp scampi?
I just like any kind of spaghetti or linguine or fettuccine or things like that.
Okay.
Will go good with the scampi itself. Some people like rice with their scampi.
Really?
Some people just eat the scampi by itself.
Okay. I think I have to try it with the rice. It sounds pretty good.
So I'm just going to move all this out of the way.
So next, you guys, we're going into the shrimp scampi. And it's going to be amazing as well.
1, 2, 3.
And then Euylan is going to use these really large shrimp, as you guys will see, and it's just amazing.
Parsley, red pepper.
And Euylan, how did you start cooking? Like, what age were you when you started cooking?
I was probably about 7 years old when I started cooking.
You were 7 years old?
Yeah, I know. I knew what I wanted to do when I was younger.
Okay.
And I've been cooking ever since then. I started off at 7 with an easy bake oven, cooking cakes for kids at school to make money so I can get myself a pair of Chuck Taylors.
Were you able to get the Chuck Taylors?
Yes, I got every color pair of Chuck Taylors there was.
And that's why you're still a chef
I even got
now.
my best friend John to do some zebra stripes on the white ones and some tiger stripes on the orange ones. So
Okay.
I had custom Chuck Taylors. Not only did I have them, I had custom ones. So necessity is the mother of invention, and I needed to get them, and so I figured out a way to try to get them, and I've been cooking ever since. I have technically been catering since I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Technically.
I'm surprised you don't have a pair of Chuck Taylors on today.
No, I don't.
Since that's what got you into cooking. But yeah,
Well, that was
that's
when
amazing.
it was good back then. They don't
Okay.
have that back now, so
I know.
it's not the same. They have shoes that literally walk for you now.
So what was one of your first signature dishes that you made that people was always asking for Euylan to make? This is
The
Euylan's
first
signature
thing
dish.
I think I ever made was a special Louis sauce for a cocktail. I would get chilled shrimp, and I made this Louis sauce instead of using like horseradish and ketchup for like a cocktail sauce, I would take a mayonnaise and I would add roasted red peppers and chipotle peppers.
So you turned the mayonnaise red.
I turned the mayonnaise red. I made
Okay.
a different type of mayonnaise for the shrimp. And that was one of the first things that I ever did that people like requested when I was a kid, because they couldn't figure out what I did.
And I can even imagine having like a cocktail sauce with the mayonnaise being the base.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting. You still make that to this day?
I still do it. Here's the thing. My imagination is one of those things that kind of runs wild. And because I have an imagination, I could literally write a recipe almost every day. So because of that creativity, in order for that not to die, I constantly have to change and do new things all the time.
So are we going to see the creativity today in one of your dishes?
This dish right here is one of those things,
Okay.
where the creativity actually comes alive. Because it's a little bit different than a traditional scampi, so we're
And
gonna
what
go
makes
from
this
there.
different than a traditional scampi?
Well, traditional scampi is more white wine, lemon, garlic. This scampi does have those components, but we add pepper flakes or cracked red pepper flakes to it. And we're going to use dry parsley as well as cilantro instead of using just parsley.
And I see that you're using larger shrimp for the shrimp scampi. How is
This-
it possible you can make this and not have the shrimp tough? Because from my experience, the larger shrimp tend to be a little tougher than the smaller shrimp.
Okay, with larger shrimp, you have to take into consideration that because the size of the shrimp is larger, the mass of the shrimp is larger, so the carryover time of cooking is also going to be a larger time that you have to use. So when you cook larger shrimp, because they are bigger and they can be tougher, you have to use what they call carryover time. Pull the shrimp off before it's completely done, like 3/4 of the way,
Okay.
and then carry over as the shrimp sit. The residual heat from the shrimp will continue to cook the shrimp. That's way you don't have to overcook the shrimp. You won't overcook the shrimp because it's carrying over.
So it's kind of like when you cook a steak
Yeah.
and you have the steak rest.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes the larger shrimp, you need to have those rest as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exact same thing.
Okay.
The exact same things. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the larger shrimp.
Okay.
I'm gonna heat this skillet up first before I add any oil or butter or anything to it right now. I'm gonna bring it up to a temperature, to a
And-
smoking point.
And why should we heat the skillet up before adding anything to the skillet?
Because we want the shrimp to sear. So if you put the shrimp at a temperature that's too low, the moisture from the shrimp will turn to steam, and you would literally do a fake boil, like
That's happened to me before. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying.
So
yes.
if your temperature is not hot
High
enough,
enough.
you won't sear. You'll actually turn into steam.
And it starts
the
to
steam,
boil.
Yeah, the
Yes.
steam will, the moisture, the water starts to boil because it's not hot enough and it's not cooking fast enough.
So
it's
guys,
important.
don't be scared to heat the skillet first and have the skillet kind of scorching. That's
Yeah.
how you get your meal perfect and not boil your meat and it's cooking at the correct temperature. Yes. And Euylan is going to show us exactly how to do that today.
Okay. So
And today, what butter are you using to start with?
this is Kerrygold, which has a higher butter content to it. Has a lot more flavor than just plain regular butter.
Okay. And what makes it more flavorful than regular butter?
Higher butter content.
The butter
higher
content.
fat content.
Okay.
Higher fat content makes it higher.
And do you recommend a higher fat content used when you're
For
making
this
shrimp
dish.
scampi?
For this dish. I
Okay.
do. This dish I do. So it'll come up to a smoking point in just a second. Basically, the way to test it is basically hold your hand over, or if you have a droplet of water, if it fizzles and goes away really fast, it's too hot. If it fizzles and dances on top of the skillet, then it's just right. And if it fizzles and sits, or if you go drop it and it sits there and nothing happens, it's not hot enough.
Sounds great. Hope you guys are taking
chefs,
notes.
Yeah, chefs, we can pretty much rub our hand over and pretty much tell if it's hot enough or not, and it's not hot enough yet. It's a bigger skillet. Can you,
So this dish, shrimp scampi, made with regular spaghetti noodles. So you don't have to go out and get the fancy noodles to make a fettuccine type of shrimp scampi dish. You can just use the regular spaghetti noodles you guys have in your cabinet.
look down there. Oh, here it is. No, it's not here. Not there. Where's it at?
The chef is just getting things together so he can make this second amazing dish for you guys. And believe me, it is worth waiting for. The technique you guys are going to see today, you can use this for one of your loved ones, and they'll swear that you had Chef Euylan come out to make it himself. But just take notes.
What the fuck is it?
Euylan, how long does this dish take to prepare?
Just a couple seconds. Probably 3 minutes in total time.
This skillet is ready. I feel the heat
Okay.
coming from the skillet.
Why the fuck is it going?
And I know when you put the water on it, it's going to dance. Should I take it off for now until you come back?
Yeah, just take it off for right
Okay.
now.
Let's move this to the side so it can be perfectly ready when he comes back and prepare this amazing dish. And the dessert, you guys, oh my God, you have to tune in for that as well because it's amazing too. And it's made with Crown Royal, as you can see, fresh apples, whipped cream. How can you go wrong? Crown Royal, whipped cream, and apples. You can't go wrong with that. Okay, I'm gonna put it back on the fire for you.
Okay, yeah. Take this butter. Super hot.
And another thing I've learned today, you can't be scared to take your skillet off the fire because you can take it off and it'll still continue to cook and then you can just put it right back on and everything will be okay. Right, Chef?
Right.
And he's using Lawry's. We all grew up on Lawry's and we know Lawry's is going to give it that amazing taste.
Cracked red pepper.
Cracked red pepper.
There's the flakes.
And I have a question. Why are you using, because I know you have fresh parsley
White wine.
as well. So what's the difference between, say, using the dry parsley opposed to fresh parsley?
The dry parsley won't burn. Fresh parsley will burn if you add it too early to this dish.
Okay. It's right there, the white wine.
Where?
It's right by the brown sugar over there.
Okay.
Yeah, so this dish does call for white wine, but the chef will explain to you once you put alcohol to a cooking skillet, what happens with the alcohol, Chef?
The alcohol goes up in flame and it burns off and you cook off the alcohol.
And the only way that you will taste a strong type of alcohol presence is if
You reduce it down.
So what's the only way you would taste the alcohol present?
If you don't cook the alcohol off.
Okay, so this is safe for the whole family to eat, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. So your kids won't just go straight to sleep after this dish because the alcohol does cook off and goes away. It's just a flavor enhancer. And as you can see, the chef is adding the noodles straight to the scampi dish. So everything is going to cook together. And what type of fresh herbs did you add to the skillet?
Cilantro.
Cilantro. And why cilantro opposed to fresh parsley?
Because I like cilantro.
He loves cilantro, guys. So if you don't like cilantro, just opt out of it.
You can substitute, yeah.
You can substitute it for whatever you like. It looks amazing. It's not even done yet.
So look at the shrimp right now.
Okay.
If you can take a look at it, you see it's still translucent
Yes.
in the inside. So we're going to pull it off in just a little bit. We're going to incorporate the pasta in there with the butter, and then we're going to pull it off in just a little bit and do plate up.
And when the chef means translucent, he's just only referring to how you can look at the shrimp and see that it's halfway done but not fully done. Don't be scared to take it off because like he was stating, it can, while it's resting, it'll still cook through. So don't be scared to take it off too soon. This is, rather than being called shrimp scampi with noodles, it should be called fall in love. Because as soon as you eat it, you're gonna fall in love. I guarantee it. Oh my God, those shrimp look so good. I think I'm gonna try this Sunday for my Sunday meal. You know when they say don't be scared? Don't be scared to take the shrimp off too soon because it'll cook while it's resting. Looks so amazing. And if you guys want extra noodles on your plate, put more noodles on there and enjoy this amazing dish. And do you add any cheese to this dish?
I can.
Okay. Amazing.
I'm rubbing the herbs together to release the oil.
Okay. And why rubbing it to release the oils is a better thing opposed to just chopping it up and putting it on?
Because I don't want to bruise the cilantro.
Okay.
Fresh cilantro on this dish is amazing.
Even if you're not a cilantro lover, after trying this dish, you'll be converted. I guarantee it.
We almost could have went with just 3.
Amazing. And do you add any cheese to that or no?
We can. I'll add some cheese.
It's an optional thing.
It's
if you wanna-
optional.
Yeah. If you want to add cheese to your dish, you can. Parmesan, I'm assuming it's recommended, but you can add whatever you like. Can't go wrong with cheese.
There you go. That's for you.
Looks amazing. Thank you.
So we'll call it, what are we going to call it now?
Amazing. And
No, we
can't
got to
wait
give it a
try
name.
it.
We got to give it a name. What's your last name?
Richardson.
Bridgerson. So we'll call this Shrimp Scampi Bridgerson from this point on.
Richardson.
Richardson.
Yes.
Shrimp Scampi Richardson from this point on. That's what
Okay.
that is.
And you guys are going to love it. So now what are you making for us to follow this amazing meal?
Okay, the last and final thing we're going to make is the dessert.
The dessert, okay.
We're going to do dessert. So we have a selection of sliced apples.
Okay.
These are Fiji apples. We're just going to use those. We're going to use Crown Royal apple brandy inside there. We're going to use cinnamon and nutmeg and brown sugar.
I have a question. What is the difference between Fiji apple and Granny Smith apple when you're making an apple dish?
Just a different variety. Granny Smith has a tendency to be a little bit on the sour side. So if you're doing something that needs acid, because it has a higher acid content, like candy apples or pies, you would use the Granny Smith apples for that because they're sturdier, they're hardier, and they don't break down. Fiji apples, if you cook them, they have a tendency to break down and turn into mush. So if you were making applesauce, Fiji apples will be the apples you would use for that.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Can I help you with this dish?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with a cold skillet. Okay?
Okay.
And when we turn the heat on, we're basically making a caramel sauce.
Okay.
We're going to take a little bit of acid, which is going to be a lemon. We're going to take cinnamon and nutmeg, and we're going to basically make a caramel sauce. Then we'll take the apples and toss it in, and then add the apple brandy to it, as well as the ice cream.
Okay.
Okay?
Can't wait.
Take this away.
So the skillet does need to heat up this time. It just needs to just wait for all
We're
the
going to start
components
with
to
the
come.
cold skillet,
Okay.
and then we're going to add the sugar to that.
Sounds amazing.
Start with the cold sugar. So,
As you can see, my favorite word today is amazing because the food is amazing.
okay, so this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to have you actually make this dish.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm ready for it.
Okay, we're going to start with brown sugar,
Okay.
and we're going to add it to the skillet.
Should I put it in now?
Put it in now.
Okay.
We're going to start with the cold thing. Try to spread it out as much as you possibly can.
Do you have something for me to spread it out with besides
Yeah,
just
get the whisk right there.
that one fell. I need to get a fresh one. Can I use that one over there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Grab the whisk
Okay.
and break it up as much as you possibly can. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Turn the heat on.
I don't know how to turn it on. Am I turning it on right?
Other way. This one right here. That's the front. That's
There it
the back.
goes.
Okay. Now, what we're doing is we're basically making a caramel sauce, but we're going to wait until the sugar starts to liquefy.
Okay.
It's a solid now. See, this chemistry. We're taking a solid and turning it into a liquid.
Yes.
Okay.
Like they
By
say.
using temperature to break down the molecular structure of the sugar.
Okay.
All right.
So is it going to dance like the water dances in?
No, because we're not going to let it get that hot. We're going to take our time. The reason why I'm starting you off with the cold skillet, because sugar goes from done to burnt in 2 seconds.
Okay.
All right. You've never done this before, so
I've never done this.
Yeah.
So you guys pay close attention. So you're going to see how sugar turns into a liquid.
So when we get done, when it starts to turn to none.
Not yet,
we'll
okay.
add that to it. But we got to have everything ready for you.
Okay.
You got to get your mise en place ready. And then that's the lemon. So as you can see, it's starting to heat up. And it's starting to heat up. At one point, like I said, it takes 2 seconds. But pay attention. It takes 2 seconds for it to go from burnt to
Really
done.
quick.
Exactly.
Okay. So you have to keep your eye on the skillet when you put the sugar in, okay?
And then constant movement is the best thing for it.
Okay.
So go ahead, start stirring. Start stirring.
I see it. It's like it's starting to do something different already.
See, this part right here is all liquid. It's all melted. You see it's smoking over there. So you have to
Yeah.
be careful. So constant moving. And I'm gonna have you take it off and put it back on, and off and put it back on.
And what's
'Cause
the purpose for that?
The purpose for that is so it doesn't get too hot
Okay.
and burn.
So what do I do now? Because it's starting to liquefy.
It's starting to liquefy. Keep
Yes.
stirring. Keep stirring. Don't
do
swing.
that? Okay.
Because that's hot sugar, and if it lands on you, it's gonna be painful.
And I've had that happen
Look at
before and it
that!
hurts.
Look at that! Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Look at that. You see how it's starting to liquefy?
Yes.
You're making caramel. Rock star.
Oh my God, looks good too.
Look at that. See, that is perfect. No burn points. Okay?
Okay.
Constantly, got to move a little bit faster. Okay.
Okay.
Then we're going to add the butter. Move straight there. Yeah, you got to get it all. Add the butter. Okay.
So when do I take it off for it to rest a
You
little?
can take it off right now.
Okay.
Incorporate that butter in there. Look at you. God, man.
So you guys do not be scared to stir the sugar and get the butter in
You
because
made caramel. That's caramel.
yes, I told you. I used to love to make caramel popcorn. And this
Okay.
is the basis of it, you know?
Okay. So we're going to add our lemon juice to it.
Okay.
Ready?
And- yes. And what does the lemon juice do?
It's adding an acid component to it to change the molecular structure of the sugar.
Okay. So
Stir.
lemon goes a long way when you're cooking.
Yeah. Stir, 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 faster, 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 faster. Okay, now shot sugar is like blazing hot, and it cooks really fast. So we're gonna add a couple apples. Okay. Put it back on the heat. Now, what we're gonna do is when we add the
More butter, or it's okay?
no,
Okay.
because it'd be too thick. Okay, put it back on the heat. When we add the liquid, we're gonna add it right here. So try to keep everything up here.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put it back on there.
Okay.
And then
The apple's
move it
got.
off. And just a tip, take everything and try to get it back there and clear that spot right there. Okay. Clear that spot. Okay, now take it off the heat. See how it's smoking? We're gonna,
It's heavy.
I know, we're gonna add the apple brandy.
And why do you add
apple
the
crumble.
alcohol and not on the stove directly?
Back. Because if we add the alcohol on there directly, it'll splash up and it could cause a fire. Alcohol flames up. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Try to take it off again?
Yeah, take it off and then add it back quickly. Okay? Now add it back quickly. Go, go, go. There
Oh,
you go.
shit.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid. We're going to add a little bit of cinnamon. A little bit of nutmeg. Oh.
That's funny, but it couldn't have
And
been
that's
worse.
enough.
Okay.
Okay.
This looks amazing and it smells even better. If we had smell-o-vision, oh my God. This smells so good.
Where's the ice cream? Okay.
Do I keep stirring or do I let the apples rest in the caramel sauce?
You just keep stirring.
Okay.
And then I have a piece of puff pastry right here.
Oh, that puff pastry looks amazing.
Okay. It's in this refrigerator? Okay.
And then, like he said, the caramel gets so hot that even when you have fresh apples, the caramel is so hot that it's going to just make the apple just soften up really
All the way in the back?
quickly.
Hey, Alex. It's all the way back there.
I don't know why I want to add more butter, but I guess we don't need it. Butter makes everything better. Okay.
And just because we're a bunch of booze heads, I've turned the heat off. We're just gonna add a little bit of booze to it. There you
Nothing
go.
like more booze. Oh,
Go
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was
ahead.
thinking butter. It's the booze.
No, we're gonna do booze.
Using the
We got
wrong
enough
bean.
butter in there. We got enough butter in there. Thank you, sir.
This looks so good. Oh, my God. And this pastry, you guys, what pastry are you using today?
We're using Pepperidge Farm puff pastry.
Okay.
I know we should be advertising for Pepperidge Farm, but it's okay. It's fine.
It's okay today.
Okay. We made the puff pastry. We're gonna pierce the inside of
A
it.
little hole in it. This is
Okay. And then we're gonna pour the apples on top.
okay.
There you go. Give me this.
Now, you guys watching this amazing dish come together? Oh, I don't have the sturdy chef hand, you guys, so don't judge me, as my baby would say.
You can put some on the side if you want to. They don't
Okay.
have to all go on the top.
Just want to get that sauce down in there.
Yep.
So
There
it
you go.
can just be amazing. Okay.
Let's see.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So I don't have the chef hand. Just turn it the other way.
Turn it the other way.
Yeah. So I messed up the plate.
It's okay. Add a little caramel to it.
And the caramel just is like just a different component for sweetener.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like caramel.
So as you guys can see, we're doing a lot of things that Chef Euylan likes today.
Yes.
Another drizzle of caramel.
There you go. And just a little bit of whipped cream.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. We're going to put the little dust on top
Yeah.
for the accent, for the and that is cinnamon and nutmeg
Yep.
that goes on top.
There you go.
Do you have a fork for me to taste this
Oh, yes.
amazing looking dish?
Definitely.
So I'm going to try it. Thank you.
There you go. Now it's kind of boozy now.
It's boozy.
It's boozy.
It's the end of the evening. This is the perfect dessert.
Boozier.
You can barely taste it.
You can barely taste it. Really?
I'm assuming because it's apple crumb roll.
We're gonna add some more apple.
You
There
guys
you
don't
go.
try that
We
at
put a
home.
shot on top of it. There you go.
Euylan, it's delicious. It's very, very delicious. How can our audience contact you?
How?
How can our audience contact you, our audience today?
They can email me at welch129@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or they can call me at 314-337-7301, which is the office number.
Okay.
Sorry?
And they can call you to book any private parties, catering events.
Private parties, birthday, anniversaries, bar mitzvahs, whatever. We can pretty much do anything. There's 5 chefs on staff. All of us have different backgrounds. So between the 5 of us, we can pretty much do anything.
Okay.
From ice carvings to sushi, if you wanted to. You know, the
So a
sushi
whole
chef-
sushi
Yeah,
meal.
we
Okay.
can do a whole sushi if you want.
Okay. Well, if you guys would like to be a guest on Hip Essence After Dark Artist Talk, email us at hipessencemedia@gmail.com and look out for our next show in May. And visit us on Instagram at Hip Essence or Facebook.HipEssenceMedia. Euylan, thank you for being our guest today. You
It
have
was
been
an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. You have been amazing. So
Thank you.
everything was great. So thank you again. YouTube and search for Hip Essence or the hipessence.org. And I also want to give a very special thanks to our Hip Essence After Dark Artist Talk supporters, video technician, Mr. Charles Butchberry, and our online guests. Hip Essence After Dark Artist Talk is a production of Hip Essence. Hip Essence is a 501c3 company. For Hip Essence After Dark Artist Talk, I'm Octavia Richardson. Hip Essence, where cool meets life.